I don't care about people I love. That's why we have each other, and I'm sorry about snapping at you.
I know I have told you guys how much I love twins and how I wish so much that I was a twin, but last night just kind of made me feel like that prayer point, I need to now turn it, say, Father, give me twins. Father, give me identical twins. Father, give me the same pair. I don't want boy and girl. I want boy, boy or girl, girl. And guys, it's all because of Handi and Wanni.
Thank you for giving me.
Guys, last night was such an emotional roller coaster for this pair, and I've seen so many narratives on the internet, over the night. And at this point, I feel like we should talk about it for a bit, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey Betha, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Betha. I'm so excited to have you here. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you are definitely welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, you know I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also make sure to click on the bell icon just so you get notified every single time. And the best option would be to click on the all so that you get notified at all times. Okay, now another way you can support my channel is by gifting me some super thanks. This is a cool YouTube feature where you get to customize your text. You can write anything and then of course choose any amount you would like to gift me. It doesn't really matter the amount. What matters is the gesture and the thought behind it. Okay, and last but not the least, guys, I do have a membership where you can join. Just click on that join icon. You can see it right beside the subscribe button and just support my channel on a monthly basis. All right, and of course, let's just get right into the gist. Okay, last night we had an impromptu live stream as a result of the terrible network system. I mean, I was trying to upload videos and they just wouldn't upload, so I decided to take the risk of coming online for us to have a live stream. And thankfully that actually worked because some of you joined in and we had quite a good conversation. And you guys would remember that during that live stream, someone had pointed out that the Handi and Wanni twins were crying, and I was like, oh, sorry for the laugh, because I felt like they were crying as per they failed their wager. They lost their wager, and that was why these two people were crying. But guys, going back to it and just seeing that it was deeper than that, I take my laughter back, okay, because it was such an emotional feat for the two of them. You guys, at some point, after they had gone into the house, Handi had gone to the garden all by herself. She was overwhelmed. She was going through a lot of emotions. I'm sure a lot of things were just going through her mind, especially because we know that her twin sister, Wanni, spends most of her time with her newfound lover in the house, Sean. I mean, I don't even know if I should call them lover at this point because I don't really know, but they're in some type of situationship, and she spends most of her time with Sean. And of course, that just leaves Handi, to be by herself for the most part, seeing that they're not the type of people to want to have conversations every single time with every single person. Okay, now if we're even going to classify the twins, we can tell that Handi is that person that keeps to herself more, while Wanni is the person who is really outgoing, really friendly and overly bubbly. So it was quite a lot for Handi last night. It gets to a point where you're keeping things in, and at some point you just have an outburst. I feel like that was what happened to Handi last night, because she had gone into the garden and before we knew what was happening, she started crying. And people started asking, like, what is this cry about? Like, why is she even crying? What is making her cry so much? And the point is, even while she was crying, her sister Wanni was inside the house, with Sean, and then at some point with Chinwe, who obviously kept on going on and on about how she wants to be alone, how we should now start referring to her as Chinwe and not Zinwe. And all of that, Chinwe just kept on talking and talking and talking. So, of course, Wanni was there trying to console her. You guys know that they have this relationship. Zion and Chinwe had told Big Brother during their diary session that, they have this relationship with the WANNIxHANDI twins where, they call them mommy and daddy, and then they see these twins as their children. It was really nice to hear that. So, of course, one of the daughters, Wanni was trying to console her mother figure in the house, you'll be fine and all of that. And then very quickly, she noticed that her sister, Handi, was nowhere to be found. So it was at that point, she started looking for her. And so she headed straight to the garden. Upon getting there, she saw her sister crying. And, she's like, why? Like, what is wrong? Why are you crying? And guys, before we knew what was happening, the tears went from a 0 to 100, that we could even barely make out what they were saying for the most part. But be sure to note that Handi was pouring out, how she was feeling, the fact that most of the time she's alone by herself. Her sister has found a new partner who she spends most of her time with. And, most importantly, whilst they were preparing for their wager task, she mentioned that Wanni kept on snapping at her, and, like every little mistake, Wanni would snap and all of that. And Wanni quickly felt guilty, and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, it was the whole pressure, with the whole presentation. I'm really sorry, I'm here for you. You know that anytime you want me, I will be here. You can talk to me if I've offended you, if I've hurt you in any way. I'm sorry. And guys, it moved from, oh my God, like, Betha, what is wrong with you? It moved from, Handi just crying by herself, and then almost immediately, Wanni joined in the tears. And these two girls started crying. They would cry. This person would clean this person's tears. They would hug. And the funny part, when they cry a bit, even in their tears, they would laugh. It was so sweet to watch. Trust me, it was really nice to watch. And, that kept on happening. And of course, the cameraman were just giving us angle here, angle there. I'm like, you guys, relax. Just give us a close-up shot. Let us hear what they're saying. All this panning here, panning there. Like, you guys are confusing me. And I think that that's actually why some people think, on the internet, that they were doing that for the camera. I do not agree that these two girls will take out time to cry as much as they did last night in one corner of the garden. They did not do it in the lounge to say, oh yeah, they are trying to show up. They went to one corner. In fact, Handi was there by herself, already crying, even before the camera guys took us there. So why would I suddenly now start? I mean, like, for me, it did not make sense. That narrative on the internet did not make sense to me. I felt like it was just a moment that these twins shared, and it just shows how closely knit they are. It just shows that, beyond being twins, they are really good friends. They share a very special bond. I know you people told me that you are my twin and all of that, but will you cry with me like that? Because the cry from yesterday was a lot. It was a lot, guys. It took a lot of hugging and, reassuring and, consoling, from Wanni to her sister Handi, to make her feel a lot better. Because, Handi also mentioned, I'm mostly by myself. I don't really, that me, I don't really function so well, like that with a lot of people. You're the only person that I have here, and you're not here most of the time, so what happens if I'm going through something and, you have to be with Sean and all of that. And it was such an emotional moment, guys. It was such an emotional moment. And the whole snapping thing, I feel like that's also something that these twins do. They actually do it. But, Wanni is more of that person that will just snap at you like almost immediately. It might take Handi a bit, of time for her to do that. But Wanni, small thing, she will snap. You guys remember now the snapping where she snap. Now it make she and the twin boys have all that back and forth. And then she also snapped at Sean after the party, which was why it seemed like there was a gap between them. I had mentioned that it seemed like there was a gap between Wanni and Sean. It was also because she had snapped at Sean. Why? Because you had expected that Sean will help you get your own piece of chicken and drink from the grill during the pool party. So I don't know. It was just, it was nice to watch that. It was really nice to watch that, guys. Trust me. But then after a while, they felt better. They had consoled one another, and Handi got a grip of her emotions. And yes, almost immediately, Wanni went back to Sean. Yes, the same thing her sister had just told her about. At least spend some time with your sister. But no, she quickly went back to Sean, to balance, and was telling Sean, oh yes, we are good now. It's better now. We have cried together, so we feel better and all of that. But anyways, that was that for the twins. And like I mentioned, Chinwe has just been doing the most with the whole, my name is Chinwe. When DJ Flo was calling her, DJ Flo was like, Zinwe. And she's like, my name is Chinwe. My name is Chinwe. I said, sorry, we don't know you as Chinwe. In fact, we don't even know you as Zinwe. We know you as baby, and it is not complete if the other baby is not there, guys. But let me tell you something that I appreciate about these two people, Chinwe and Zion, is the fact that even in the midst of this their quarrel, even in the midst of them not talking to one another, they still care for one another. Okay, and I say this because last night, even after they got into the house, and everybody was trying to do their own thing, Chinwe was doing her own thing, Zion was doing his own thing. Zion is not paying her any attention because it feels like she's doing too much, and I agree. Okay? But my point is, even in the midst of wanting to do their things by themselves, at some point he was eating, right, in the lounge, and Chinwe was going upstairs with Wani, right, to go and meet Victoria, who was feeling bad that she forgot her lines during their wager task and all of that, and she feels like, her performance was horrible. So these two people were going to console her upstairs. They had seen Zion sitting down in the lounge eating, and of course, Wani had gone close to him, to say hi. Chinwe just stood at the corner and waited for Wani to finish talking to him, and they were going upstairs. And the next thing, she was like, "Are you good?" He said, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, okay. And then she went upstairs. Now, after a moment here, when they went upstairs, Zion came back upstairs too, opened the door. He knew obviously that she was there. He knew that she was there with, some of the other housemates, Wani, DJ Flo, Victoria. He opened the door. Said, "Oh, I just came to check whether people were sleeping." Oga, you didn't come to check if you were sleeping. You just came to check if your baby is okay. If your baby is okay. And I feel like they really need to sort it out because it's too early. It's too early for our baby ship to be broken. I do not want that, okay? But I also think that Chinwe needs to tone it down a bit. I feel like she's overly controlling, and just like every other person thinks, she's doing too much with the whole, trying to mark her territory and all of that. Even one time when Zion was in the kitchen with, I think, Ruti. Yes, I think Ruti, and I think this was just yesterday or day before. He was in the kitchen with Ruti, and she just came and said, "Baby," she just held him. I'm like, who won't collect your baby from your hand? Madam, relax. So she needs to kind of tone it down. And like Zion is saying, she needs to relate with people as well. Because, you cannot be an island in Biggie's house. You need people to play the game. Whether as alliances or whatever, you need people. And I hope that, she's able to see past the whole, "Oh, you betrayed me, you're not on my side," and all of that. And see reasons with Zion. Because Zion was actually telling her the truth. All right? But guys, let me know, what do you think about this whole WANNIxHANDI situation? Do you think they were doing all of those crying for the camera? Like, why? Tell me if you think that. Tell me why you think that. And also let me know if you think that, Chinwe and Zion need to sort things out, or you feel like they actually need this break, so that they can figure themselves out. I would really, really love to hear your thoughts in the comment section, okay? Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. And of course, I would see you on the next one. All right? Bye.